It's Monday, August 7th, and this is Geeknights. Tonight is a very special Geeknights as we're not here and we're trying something very new. If this goes well, this may happen more times in the future. We have some guest hosts for the show.
Yes, we were just at Otakon. It ended yesterday, which means we are not going to be able to make a podcast today.
So we are in fact currently sleeping on the beach somewhere in Wildwood, New Jersey.
Yeah, if you're in Wildwood, New Jersey, feel free to come find us. We'll be here for a few more days. But regardless, previously we offered anyone who had the ability to podcast the opportunity to create their very own Geeknights episode. And we had some takers. Our friends over at Simply Syndicated, who made of the Movies You Should See podcast,
which we have appeared on twice.
Yes, they like our show so much that they decided to make their own episode of it. And this is what you will be hearing very shortly.
So first off, if you are a new listener to Geeknights, you may or may not have found us through Otakon and all of the shows and events we did there. Be sure to check out the website, www.frontrowcrew.com, and bear in mind that all this week are going to be Geeknights specials. If you want to listen to a more standard, normal episode, look for any episode that doesn't have the word special in the title. There are about 160 of them out there, either in iTunes or on the feed or on the website itself. Also, if you're looking for our Otakon coverage, it will be beginning next Monday and will go for approximately 2 weeks, as we are currently out of town and we don't have the ability to upload, let alone edit anything together. Thus, without further ado,
it's Monday, 7th of August, and this is Geeknights. Tonight we'll be discussing stupid dumb Apple fanboys and why geeks make the best boyfriends.
Let's do this.
Hello everybody, welcome to Geeknights.
Hello.
My name is Richard.
And I'm Allison.
Let's explain.
Okay, let's do that.
So at the beginning you had just heard Rym and Scott explaining that this isn't a normal episode of Geeknights at all.
No.
We are the guest podcasters.
Yeah.
And we are part of, we're not all of, we're part of Movies You Should See. Rym and Scott have actually been on our show a couple of times anyway, so the chances are you might have heard them.
Yeah.
Heard us.
Heard us, yeah.
Heard us, indeed. So
hopefully you did, because they did some really good spots for us.
I was pleased with them.
Yeah.
Actually, last week's show.
City of God.
Check it out.
It's a good show.
We'll plug later.
Okay.
We'll plug later.
But that's us anyway. Richard and Allison from Movies You Should See.
We should say hello to Craig, Mike and Tristan, who are also part of it.
Yeah, they are. They should have been here tonight, but we had a little mishap yesterday. The clutch burnt out in the car.
Well, basically, every one of us who owns a car has had it die in the last 2 weeks.
That's right, yeah.
So nobody's going anywhere, and we didn't want to do this over Skype.
No.
No, that would have been crap. So basically, we're just going to do a normal episode of Geeknights.
Yeah.
Excellent. So shall we kick off?
We should.
So we start with the news.
Okay. What's been happening?
Well, this week, Top of the Pops,
yes,
a British institution,
absolutely,
played its last episode. After 42 years. That's the significant thing, I suppose. If you don't know what Top of the Pops is, it's basically a weekly music show that's been on TV for the last 42 years.
Yeah.
Where bands go on and they do the top 10 countdown and that sort of thing.
It's basically the TV equivalent of the chart show. They tell us what's number one on a Sunday, and what used to happen is Top of the Pops was on a Thursday, and it got you geared up and buying records ready for the chart to be announced on Sunday. So it showed you everybody who's in the chart, showed you how many places they'd gone up and gone down, and it really was something that was really part of my childhood and my teenage years.
I never watched it,
Really?
Never once have I sat through an episode of Top of the Pops.
It was my entire week, the focus of my week when I was a kid, like 10, 12 years old. I loved that show, and it would be the one thing that was guaranteed that I could watch uninterrupted in the house. That was my programme. And I think pretty much every teenage girl at the time did, until something happened in the UK and music started getting really, really crap. And
oh, you mean the late 80s?
Yeah, well, yeah.
And actually,
mainstream
more
chart
so
music.
The very late 90s, up until now.
Yeah, we had the Britpop thing, which made everything exciting again. and the MTV thing, I guess, took quite a bit away from shows like Top of the Pops. Which,
well, that's what they're saying killed Top of the Pops, and I think that's perfectly fair for them to say.
I think it's fair.
You know, who cares about a once weekly music show when we've got 24-hour music channels?
Yeah, you can get to see your favourite videos 25 times a day if your channels serve the right channels. And so that kind of led to the demise. But my favourite days of Top of the Pops were back when I was a child, because you used to have these horrific dancers on there. Were they Pan's People?
Pan's People. Let's explain about Pan's People. This is a very special part of our history, of our social history.
It's established in British culture.
And it's embarrassing.
It really is. But I'm sure they have kind of equivalent naffness in other countries around the world. I think we can get away with it.
There was never naffness to this degree.
Right.
Go on.
Pan's People were a group of young women who were probably aged about 18 to 30.
Yeah.
And they were quite posh. Oh,
Yeah.
It felt like it.
They were a bit poncy.
Yeah, they were dancers. And back in the days before video promos were available for pop songs in the charts, these women used to come on and do very literal dances that were about the song. So you got some amazing kind of dancers. I can't remember what the song was, but it had dogs in it. For some reason, it had puppies in it or something like that. And sure enough, they had puppies on the stage in their dance. It was just the most ridiculous thing ever. You kept trying to get these shiatsus to stay still while they're doing massive leg kicks and stuff. It was horrific. But I think that everybody loved them because they were a bit sexy, really. And it was the most leg and body that had ever been shown on British TV.
It was certainly the raunchiest thing on TV at the time by a long way.
Some
really
horrendous costumes, though.
Oh, it was horrific. You can probably Google Pan's People and see all of this.
Yeah.
I think.
Baby doll 90s and that kind of thing. Very funny.
You have to see it.
And how they do all the facial expressions to go along with this song. It's just cheese on a stick. It really is.
Expertly done.
But that's kind of what made Top of the Pops so special. It was a very British thing with this very British dance troupe, and it was just the cream of cheese.
It really was. You see, the problem... Here's an issue I had with it, right? The bands that play on Top of the Pops, when they do so-called live performances... I'm doing the thingies with my fingers.
The speech marks.
The speech marks with my fingers. The live performances, right? They're not doing live performances.
No, they're not.
At best, they recorded that performance earlier on in the day. But probably, and I've seen this a lot, they sing the album version. They blatantly just brought a CD with them. Or something like that, right? So they're miming, and we know they're miming.
It's happened quite spectacularly on there as well, where the DAT machine's broken.
Yeah, when things have just gone wrong.
And people have just sat there with blank expressions on their faces as the song plays in the background, like, what's going on? All About Eve. That's who it happened to.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That one's played on TV quite a lot, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a nice little example of the naffness of the programme.
But they're miming. We know they're miming. They know that we know they're miming, right? So essentially what it becomes is they're just doing a dance to their song.
It's kind of obscene, though. It's like watching someone play air guitar.
We know nobody... We know there's no music being performed in front of us. Nothing at all. We know essentially what they're doing is dancing for us. They're just dancing in a way that, that they're playing at being a band.
But it's getting 15-year-olds a chance to have a look at them.
Well, that's what it's there for.
Because the entire studio is made up of 15-year-old
That's what it's there for. You pay a fortune to get your song on Top of the Pops so that it gets promoted.
Ooh.
Oh, come on.
Is it fair to say that?
Of course it's perfectly fair to say that.
Okay, well, yeah.
It's massively fair to say that because when Will Young won Pop Idol, there was massive controversy over the fact that they were trying to pay for him to have 2 songs on the same episode, which no one's ever done.
Oh, was that a double A side jobby?
That was, yes.
Right, okay. He wants to get married, actually.
Let him.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Wants to do an Elton.
We should explain for anyone that doesn't know, Will Young's gay, so getting married is an unusual thing. Idol. But he's allowed to do that here now, which is smashing. Where were we? So everyone who's on it is doing a little dance for us. Right, from Christina Aguilera to the Gallagher brothers in Oasis, they're just doing a little dance for us, which is weird. I find that weird because, again, We all know that, but we pretend that they're playing live.
Yeah, I guess.
Which is just crazy.
And that always kind of made me want to buy songs a little bit more when I'd seen them or when I'd seen the videos.
Well, that's
especially
the point of
when
videos.
videos first came out, they were amazing. And you got to see things like, Dire Straits, the MTV one, you know.
The Money for
Nothing.
Which
Great
was
video.
just the most amazing thing in the world when it came out.
It was.
Nothing like that being seen. So
we started replacing pop stars with videos, and you wouldn't get as many live performances. Well, not live
no,
with
because
the
they mix it with the
quotation mark.
videos.
You get a video. So
Yeah.
you kind of felt a little while after you were being a little bit cheated. You actually wanted to see the band there.
Videos are the biggest cheat in the music industry.
Yeah.
But on nothing. Because they're advertising to get you to buy the single. And now we're paying for videos.
Yeah.
We're paying to buy advertising
It's crazy,
to make us
isn't it?
buy something else.
It's crazy. I'd much rather see
you
a
know.
performer actually mime in front of me than see the same video.
Yeah,
playing,
get
playing,
them out
playing,
to do
playing,
their
which
own
is
little
what we've
dance.
got now.
Dance for me. Come on.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
I think, in America, with was it Dick Clark in America? He had like a show kind of like that where you have a band on and they come and play in front of a live studio audience, and then you get to see it at home. It's kind of like, just a live pop show. And the only thing that we've got like that now in this country is like Jules Holland. And he's not playing pop, he's playing the stuff that
Jazz and blues and
we
swing
listen
and
to.
good stuff.
Yeah, the good stuff.
The good stuff.
My thing is, right, when I was a child, I thought I'd always loved Top of the Pops.
No.
I did, because I thought this rules, and this is where music is.
No, I mean,
and
no,
then
you haven't always loved it.
I haven't always loved it. I fell out of love with it when I started thinking I can't cope with British pop culture anymore.
That's the problem. It's not the
rubbish.
show. It's the music it's showing.
And I think that's what's done it.
In
That's
a-
final nail in the coffin.
In a programme that only plays music, you're governed by what music's out.
That's
If
it.
there's nothing good out, there's nothing you can play and nothing you can do. So maybe, again, Simon Cowell, the root of all evil in the universe, with his shit pop music, has destroyed Top of the Pops. If you trace every bad thing in the universe that happens, it goes back to Simon Cowell.
You really don't like him, do you?
Everything. Pick anything you want. I will trace it back to Simon Cowell and the decline of the British pop music industry.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's very orange.
He is. And his waistband is far too high.
That's right.
And he's a... I'm not going to...
No, let's not go anywhere.
Okay.
Suffice to say that we oppose
We don't. I don't.
his kind of
I
modelling of
oppose
pop
him.
music.
I just oppose him generally and everything about him. But enough. Jimmy Savile, Sir Jimmy Savile, Knight of the Realm, who introduced the very first Top of the Pops episode
He's Top of the
42
Pops
years ago.
God.
The Top of the Pops God, staunch right-wing moron.
But I love Jimmy Savile for one reason and one reason alone. He's the first man to get two turntables and put two records on and try and play them simultaneously. So he's the first ever proper turntable DJ. It lasted for one song and the entire equipment blew up. And it was upstairs at the Otley Working Men's Club.
In Leeds?
Yeah. And it happened in 1962, I believe.
That's amazing.
So for that reason alone, Jimmy Savile, God.
The oldest man still smoking cigars since, what's his name died?
Who?
His name's
That famous cigar smoker.
The cigar smoking comedian. Very
Groucho
funny guy.
Marx.
No, after him.
I don't know. Bob Hope.
No, after him.
I don't know.
Or maybe
I've
before
run out
him.
of guitar,
I don't know.
cigar
I don't
smoking
know.
comedians.
I should have thought that through more before I started saying it. But he was the guy who turned out the lights on the last episode in only the crap way the
Did he
BBC
really?
could do. How shall we finish it? We'll wait till the closing credits are finished, and we'll have Sir Jimmy turn the lights out in the studio.
I'm sat here, I'm actually filling up.
I didn't see it, but you can
I'd have
imagine
cried.
it, can't you?
Yeah, I'm sat here quite upset by
little
that.
frail old man in his running suit.
In his gold running suit and his jangly jewellery.
Yeah, all of that. And his cigar, turning the lights out. It's over now.
That's
He'll probably
really
die
sad.
soon.
Oh, that's really sad.
He's very, very old, though, so, well, it would just be time. But looking at his picture, I think he is dead.
Well, he's missed his mum since she went, the old Duchess. So
40 years ago.
yeah, he's missed her a lot. you know, what can I say?
As he said, Sir Jimmy said, Top of the Pops belongs to the world now.
It does.
What
It's
the
ours.
hell does that mean?
I don't know.
It belongs
But
to the world
you just
now.
think about it, Rich. Catch your mind back to all those wonderful Top of the Pops theme tunes that you've got in your head. Paul Hardcastle's Top of the Pops theme will stay in my head forever and ever and ever. Amen.
Fair enough. I can't remember any of them. Oh yeah, I can. Actually, no, I'm thinking about it. I can remember all of them now. Never mind. Forget that.
It was a wicked show, and I'm gonna miss it retrospectively, seeing as I stopped watching it about 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm just old. Oh yeah, I'm middle-aged, old me.
Oh, looking at this news report, going back to the crap music, I think it's worth noting that the last song played on Top of the Pops was Shakira and Wyclef Jean's "Hips Don't Lie."
Hips don't lie.
There's a mark of good
They
music.
just tell the truth.
It's good, isn't it?
Them
makes
hips there.
me sick.
These hips there. Here, tell me I ate too many pies. And they're not lying.
I'm too gentlemanly to agree with him.
Yeah, but you're not gentlemanly enough not to laugh.
It's hard not to laugh. Let's move on.
Moving on.
Things of the day.
Yay! That's so exciting! I am sat here so excited by that little piece of music.
It's incredible, isn't
It's
it?
wicked. Yeah, that's it.
I have to confess, right?
Go on,
the
Rich.
first episode of Geeknights I ever listened to,
Yeah.
the thing that I actually enjoyed the most was the closing credits music.
Really?
I don't mean that like when I joke that the film's really bad and I say that the best bit was when it faded to black and the writing came up. I mean, actually, the music, I really enjoyed it.
Really, I really like that.
I keep
Gotta
meaning
love
to
a bit
ask
of
them more
trumpet.
about where it comes from and stuff like that, but
That's
I love
exciting. Okay, so my thing of the day
it. Your thing of the day.
is this really cool little video.
Have you got the link prepared for it on YouTube?
Let me just.
Do you know what?
see.
No, hang on. Do you know
I know
it
what
is?
the video's called.
Well, that'll do. Sorry, I'm
Right.
being overly cautious.
Overly cautious.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
prepared.
Okay.
This little video is entitled Collaboration 2001. I must stress that collaboration is spelled with a K,
Okay, that's good.
right? And 2001. There's quite a few files on there from collaboration. It seems to me, I don't really know, but it looks like a Korean sort of youth culture festival, Korean American youth culture festival, where they go and they do street dance and that kind of thing, and generally have a good time
Okay.
and show off their mad skills. And this little clip is of 3 guys who do some body popping.
It's body popping.
Yeah,
That's what we call it.
is it?
I don't know. I'm asking
You know, the kind of robotic dancing. I'm calling it body popping because I don't know what else to
No.
call it.
You see, we say body popping, and I think back in the 80s.
With all the pop in the collar and all the rest
all
of
that
that.
sort of thing.
Well,
Which
it
it is a little bit of.
It is,
That
but
is in there, but
this
it's...
is a masterclass. There's 2 guys who are on first, and you think they're all right. You think they're pretty good. They've got some moves and stuff. And then this guy called Nathan from Santa Ana comes on and just throws down the maddest moves I've ever seen a human being contort themselves into.
This is certainly something that has to be seen to be believed,
Yeah.
I think.
The guy's body is amazing. He can command it to do pretty much what he wants to do. And he goes from being like a solid piece of wood to something that's liquid and melting. He's absolutely astounding. And I've seen it so many times now, but the guy just makes me go, just look at that. Every time I see it, it's awesome.
It's just amazing. I want to say something more intelligent about it than it's just amazing. You do get the feeling that this kid might have been in some kind of accident or something like that.
Because there's no physical way you could do that in reality.
It's like, I can understand how I can't make my body do the robot bit and the dancing bit.
I'd
But
like
when he
to
just
see you try.
when he just puts himself into a position, like when he does that bit with his shoulders,
Yeah.
I think, well, why can't I do that?
Because
What is it about your body that mine
don't
doesn't
know.
have, or mine has that yours doesn't?
I
Or
don't
what?
know. I love this bit. You'll know it when you see it. He kind of makes like there's something underneath his jumper.
See, that's clever. That's skillful.
Just amazing.
I get that I can't do that, and I'm happy with that. That's okay. But, the bit, why can his body do things mine can't?
Don't know.
If
He's built in a strange way. He's a tall, thin guy who's very lean, and he's got huge, broad shoulders. He's probably only about 15. That's the shocking thing about this guy.
Maybe
He's
that's
a
what it
teenager.
is. I'm just too old and creaky and sort of arthritis-y.
He's quite tall compared to the compere as well, who's clearly an adult, and he's not. He's a child. He's holding himself like a child.
Yeah.
So you just know that Nathan from Santa Ana has been popping these moves in his bedroom for months before he went to that.
Do you think he goes on tour or something?
I don't know.
Because I'd pay damn good money to see him.
I hope he's still dancing, because that boy can move. He can mould his body wherever he wants it.
It's a shame Top of the Pops is finished.
It is. He should have been on there. He should have been one of Pan's people in a little baby doll. No, that
He'd
would
have
be
been
wrong.
an embryo at the time.
Yeah.
Not even that. Not even a sperm then.
I could see him in a sou'wester with an umbrella.
Enough of them. Enough of those Pan's people. But yeah, you should check this out. What's it called again?
Collaboration, spelt with a K.
Collaboration with a K.
2001. There's other files on there as well of other kids doing, real skillful stuff, but Nathan from Santa Ana, he rocks. He's my favourite.
Do we know where that is?
Santa Ana. I don't know.
Do you even know what accent you're doing when you do
Santa
that?
Ana. It's the man who's on the stage.
Okay. Just wanted to
I don't
clarify.
know. I don't know where it is. I guess people in America might know where Santa Ana
Yeah.
is, but we don't.
Okay.
It's not near Haworth.
No.
No.
Let's move on then.
Okay.
My thing of the
What
day.
you got?
Now, this is something that... It's actually, to me, it's a video of everything that is wrong in the world today. I think, never mind Simon Cowell, ignore him. I think what this video shows is just the problem with the world as it is. And that is, I don't know, fucked up middle class white boys.
You think they're middle class?
They've got a video camera from somewhere.
I see. I don't think they're middle class.
You see, I look at them and I think, your mum's an accountant, your dad's a doctor, and you don't like it.
You see, I don't get that at all. I get parents are divorced, dad's not at home, they're doing spliffs and fet since they were about 12. They've got no prospects, no hope in life, and this is literally them with a borrowed mates or stolen camcorder.
These are the kids that are going to rob our kids in 20 years, aren't they?
Yes, dear.
Really? It's
kids
really
very
upsetting.
like them. Let's say that. Kids very like them. Because we're talking about a particular subset of British culture here that is known as a chav.
We should explain the chav.
We should. There's a really, really good website called chavtown.com.
That chav, CHAV.
CHAV. And it will tell you all about what a chav is, what they wear, how they speak, where they go, what they buy, and the rest of it. It's an entire subculture. And these choice young gentlemen that you have are particularly fine examples of breed.
Yes. It's part of believing that, well, maybe that you're better at something than you perhaps are, I think.
It's a striving of getting out of the crappy, shitty life that you live, because let's not make any bones about it. I think these guys are poor. And I think they come from a poor background, and it's about striving to get out.
We've not even said what they do yet.
No.
That's my fault. I apologise.
This is funny.
They're rapping. It's basically a video of three kids rapping. They're called the Kersal Massive, Kersal Massive. They're three of them, and in actual fact,
that's massive.
They're quite small as well.
Yeah.
I mean, especially what's his name, Little Kev.
Mad Kev or Little Kev or something like that. He's about 12. So we can deduce from the little video that we've got.
But this is a prime example of what happens when you give everyone a voice. And as wonderful a thing as that is, that we have the freedom in the world for everyone to have a voice, we realise perhaps that not many people have a great deal to say, yet say it anyway.
Yeah.
That's what this shows. I think you know, I get the whole being poor and rapping your way out of the ghetto, whatever. Not that they live in a ghetto.
These guys are not 3 M&Ms sat in
No,
there, are
this
they?
is
They're
what I'm
just
saying.
not.
Eminem can do such a thing because the man is actually, to be fair, whether you like rap music or not, he's shit at what he does.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't do that.
He's
Not
the
in a
daddy,
million
innit?
years.
He's
So
very good at it.
there you go. You've got my
But I
time for
think
that. But
what
then there's
these
these guys.
do, this isn't Eminem style rap. This isn't like that kind of American twang rap that, you know.
No.
These guys are rapping with black British accents, which just makes it even funnier because they're talking in it. Is it all that kind of crap?
This is part of the most annoying thing that is happening in this country at the moment, is this overbearing need to respond to any part of conversation with the words, is it? Is it? Hello? Is it? No? What?
It's always
What
questions. I think
hell
my
is that
favourite
about?
example was that girl when I asked her where she worked. And she says, I work up Manchester Road, daughter.
Daughter. I don't know,
Daughter.
do you?
I don't know. I asked you.
Weird.
Anyway. But that's the kind of language that these kids talk in. It's not like an American rapper's hip-hop accent. It's black British hip-hop accent. And it's very silly.
Well, the thing that winds me up about it is that it's totally made up. It's not like... it is completely made up. And it's not like these people actually have these accents or actually come from a culture like that.
Or have
It's-
hoes in the back seat.
Yeah.
Because they're not even old enough to drive a car.
Yeah.
They're talking about the mum's Clio at one point, aren't they?
I mean,
we're
he-
talking
he
about
opens
running
up-
around shop a car.
Yeah, he opens up by talking about getting on the bus with his saver card.
He
What?
does.
Come on.
Getting on board with me, dear saver.
You are not living on 8 Mile. This,
You got stabbed on 8 Mile,
Yeah.
Rich.
Actually, yeah.
You got a scar to prove it.
People who've been listening to Geeknights for a little while will remember the tale about the guy who had his appendix out. I was that guy.
You were that
And
guy.
actually, as per either Rym or Scott's recommendation, I think it was Rym, I have actually been saying I was stabbed on 8 Mile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was his idea.
But this whole thing, the Curse Massive, and it is the worst rap that was ever done.
It's horrendous, isn't it?
And people have actually parodied it now. Parodied
Parodied it.
Parodied
You did it well.
Did I do it
First
right?
time,
It didn't
yeah.
feel right.
I
Didn't
know.
feel right. They've done the Star Wars kid treatment to it, and it's been done 1,000 times on YouTube now. There's a glove puppet one. There's all sorts of things.
I like the cyber one. What was that one?
This what?
That
Oh, it's-
cyber one.
It's a weird news thing. I don't know. Other people can check that out.
There's some really good ones on there, so definitely check out the Cursal Massive. It's the funniest, the baddest, and not in the it's really bad, good kind of way.
Is it?
I
don't know. It's like when I was doing that job at the school in Barnsley, and I was walking down the corridor of the school. We had our cameras with us, and one of the kids jumped out and went, "Are you going to film me? I'm a gang star." And my only response to him was, "Kid, you're 12 and you're from Barnsley. Get over it." That is it. You are not from the hood. You are from Darfield, a small mining town in the north of England. What do you want? I'm sorry.
he
It's
wants
boring.
cocaine
But-
and he wants
you're
bitches
not
in
a
the back of
gangster.
his mum's Clio.
God, this is why we normally talk about movies, because we just get angry otherwise.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. And do you know what? It's the thing that chavs do, the kid chavs.
What do
They
they do?
stand outside the Spar shop clutching a £2 coin going, "Yeah, get us some cider, innit?
Get us some cider.
Get us some..." No, I won't buy you cider.
No.
What did you say to that guy?
There was a little kid outside the shop, and he was
This
this
is wrong.
little roly-poly kid. He must have been about 14, but he was he was the fat kid in his class,
Yeah.
the little pink face with his little bobble hat on.
Yeah.
Think Cartman in real life. That was
Oh.
him. And they were like, "Can you buy us some Stella?" And I said, "No, look, if you don't drink beer, you'll lose weight and girls will like you. And you won't need to drink beer anymore with him, who, quite frankly, looks like he's been sipping antifreeze."
Harsh.
Because
Harsh
that's
but
what no
fair.
one's going to say to these kids.
Harsh but fair. He's 14. He shouldn't be drinking
You're upset because you're the little chubby kid. I get it. I was a little chubby kid. But drinking beer outside a convenience store is not going to help.
No,
that's not going to get you anywhere.
It's just really annoying.
It is not the way to advance your life. And somebody needs to make this very clear to you now.
It's kind of like made the convenience store the youth club.
I mean, for God's sake, get an Xbox. At least you're improving your hand-eye coordination.
Get an Xbox. I have to agree with you here. Go the way of the geek.
Go
get
that
an
way.
Xbox.
Cause,
Get online. Do World of Warcraft. Do whatever. Just don't stand out the side spa shop asking strangers if they'll buy you piss-up juice.
And rapping on YouTube.
And rapping on YouTube.
Most importantly of all, stay off the internet, please.
Yeah,
because I
leave
like
the
it there,
camcorders alone.
and you're not supposed to have access to it. Right? It's made so that you have to be able to work a computer to get onto it, and you're not there yet.
Somebody probably is.
Yeah, one of them.
One of them. One of the massive.
Yeah.
It's probably the guy just off camera that we only just see for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, who's actually
when they ask
filming
him,
this?
When they go, is it? And he goes, I.
Hey, tell him how it is, Jay.
That's all he says.
This is terrible.
It's probably him who puts it up on the internet.
Okay, so everyone should watch The Cursal Massive and have a laugh, and please believe that not all English people are like this. We're being very the British geek.
We are, aren't we? We're very British.
Top of the pops
It's really not on.
We've got better things to talk
This is
about.
the demise of the British culture.
Let's move on. I'll play that music again. I don't know if I'm supposed to, but goddammit, I just
You
want to
like
hear it some
don't you?
more.
You want to just rock out.
Yeah, okay. Brilliant.
Brilliant.
I bloody love that music.
It's great, isn't it? I like your little dance that goes with it.
I have a little
pity
dance that
everybody
goes with
can't
it.
see that.
It's good. It's good that we're not a video podcast,
Yeah.
because that would be tragic.
No, it'd have been funny.
So, our main topic.
Main topic.
This was quite tricky, because although you're quite geeky,
I am.
as girlfriends go, you're very good.
Am I?
As far as geekery goes, you're excellent. Without going too far.
Right, okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how geeky am I?
You're sort of 6.
That's pretty good. I'm happy with a 6. I'd be worried if I was a 7. I'd be upset if I was an 8. I'd be in counselling if I was a 9. And I'd be you if I was 10.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say, I'm not a 10. I'm not
No,
a
you're
10. No.
No.
There's no anime up on these shelves.
That's true. There's a couple of things, let's be honest, but it's not bad.
Oh, there's things like Spirited Away
You
and
got Spirited Away.
Howl's Moving Castle,
Yeah,
both of which I still need to sit down and watch.
you do.
But, you know, it would be fair to say there's far geekier than me. There's no comic books in the toilet.
We met a geek a few weeks ago. Can you remember? He had like one of every computer.
That was incredible. That was incredible.
That guy was uber geek though, wasn't he?
Yeah, we found ourselves in this guy's house for one reason or another. We were seeing a friend of ours who was in his house.
Yeah.
And this guy, we start talking, and he's like, "Oh, you like computers?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, you've got to see these."
Oh, he was
and
ever so excited.
One of every computer ever made, really.
Pretty much.
Most of them worked as well.
He just kept getting another one out and another one out, and it'd be like from 1982 and 1987. And
he had every Nintendo ever. And,
That was crazy.
and they were all plugged in and working in his living
yeah,
room.
we were playing Donkey Kong, weren't we?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
brilliant.
I mean, that guy plays World of Warcraft. He's got the beard. He's got the anime. He had the most anime I've ever seen in one place at any one time.
To be fair, looking at him, were you to walk into a comic book store in Springfield and find him sat behind the counter, it wouldn't have been out of place. Now, actually, when I got my Xbox chipped a couple of years ago, the guy who did it actually was comic book guy.
Was he?
He was this big fat guy sat on the bar stool behind the counter in the game shop.
Talk in a very
And
clipped
he
way
even had the
to
greasy ponytail and the beard and everything. It was fantastic. I can't remember what it was about, but he even corrected my pronunciation of a technical term while I was in there. He was comic book guy. And you just want to say to these guys, like, because you must know.
Yeah.
He's seen The Simpsons.
He's
seen Comic Book Guy.
And seen yourself.
He can probably quote every episode to me. And so he must know. He must sit there looking at himself, at the screen, at himself,
Do you know,
at the screen.
I think I am Comic Book Guy,
Worst
maybe.
episode ever. Why are we doing bad Simpsons impressions?
I don't know.
I can't do impressions.
No. Okay.
So we're talking about dumb Apple fanboys.
We're talking about you, really, aren't we?
This is a unique phenomenon within the technical industry, I believe. In that every company has its fans. Every company who makes stuff has people who only buy that
There's people who
thing.
are brand loyal.
We know what Mike, for example, only has Sony stuff in his room.
That's true.
I keep trying to tell him that Sony are the second force of all evil in the world, other than Simon Cowell. But he keeps buying it because it's all already there and he likes it to match. But Apple fanboys are a law unto themselves.
This is very, very true, and something that is becoming more apparent to me the longer I live with you.
Now, I wasn't always like this. It has to be said.
I know. You caught a bug.
I caught a bug about a year and a half ago, I think, because I work in a production company, and when we all got together to begin with, out of the 4 of us, 3 of us worked on PCs religiously, and there was Luke, who had a Mac. And at the time, it was this weird little G3 blue, purple, kind of rather girly affair that didn't really do anything. And compared to the PC I had at the time, it was, well, shit,
Right.
quite frankly, and it crashed all the time. Recently, we have smashed it up with a big bat, which was quite satisfying.
Did you film that?
No, we didn't. We should have done that,
Oh,
actually, and put it on YouTube with this slew of other
Yeah.
Watch Me Smash My Mac videos. But
Yeah.
I think it was also then hurled off something big.
That would have been fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I've lost track now.
The G3 sat in the corner of the office.
The G3 sat in the corner of the office. And then we sort of bought all our new equipment.
Yeah.
And part of that was a brand new spanky G5 Power Mac.
That one that sat right there.
No, that's my one.
Okay.
The one in the office
All right, yeah.
was the new one. And this was unlike anything I had ever seen before in my life. Actually, for the first 6 months, we were speaking behind each other's backs about Luke going, we've got to get him onto PCs. What's this Mac shit that he's got going on? We can't be having this. I don't care how compatible it is. Don't want it. Got to get him off. And then I used it. And 3 days and nights later, I was physically removed from it because other work had to be done on it.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. And then those of you who have bought one will probably relate to the stories of going to the Apple Store page over and over again, building your ideal spec.
Oh, yes. I remember this
Night after night,
very
thinking,
clearly.
Do I get the slightly bigger hard drive or the bigger graphics card? Ugh.
I can recall one night when you sat here and did that very task.
Over and over again.
Over and over again, but we were coming up with figures that were near £12,000.
Oh, that was my dream system.
It was your dream system, and you were really going for it. You're going for the top end of everything and every add-on that you could get that was new and zippy. And
I still do that. I still do it. Only my ideal system is now £16,500.
that's just
Which is crazy
obscene.
for a computer. I mean, really, what does it do? Is it that much faster than mine? Probably not, to be fair.
You can buy cars for that. You can buy nice cars.
You can
for
buy
that.
houses for that in some places, let's be honest.
Yeah, you can.
Which is ridiculous. Do I buy a Power Mac or a house?
Well, given where that house would be in a really crummy area, I'd actually
I'd
go
get the
for
Mac.
Get
The Mac.
Get the
And you can live in them as well. They're that big. They've got a bedroom, ensuite bathroom.
No, they don't, Richard.
The next one will have.
No, they don't.
Steve will bring it for me.
He won't.
So let's talk some more about how this is. The more I'm talking about it, I'm actually starting to feel ashamed of myself now.
Oh, yeah. You see, I was hoping that this might come out because...
This is good therapy for us.
Is it?
This is good. This is going to make us stronger as a couple.
I'm hoping so.
Maybe.
I'm hoping so, because we're going to both get to air our sides of the story, and you're going to realise that you're quite sad.
Well, let's explain how it starts. Because, as I say, I wasn't always like this. It starts with seeing it for the first time.
Yeah, it is a rather beautiful machine.
No, I don't want to get into the whole, I think they're brilliant, so you should go out and buy one. I don't want to talk about...
You do that a lot.
Yeah, but I'm not... In this case, I'm just talking about the experience of being the dumb fanboy. Rather than... I don't want to get into which is better, what you should do, all of that.
Just
Forget
explain what it's like when you look at that
So
thing.
for me, you start building it, and then it starts. Because you get yours, and then something else comes out, and you think, well... Wish I'd got that one now.
Because that's happened to you already, hasn't
That's happened to a lot of people already. There was Craig who bought his G5, and then the week after, the new one came out.
Yeah.
And then my dad bought one of those, and then the week after, the Intel one came out.
Yeah.
Two very upset people who are now very happy.
You see, that marks on the downside for Apple, I think, the quickness.
No. That's completely unfair. How often do Hewlett-Packard release a computer with the next Intel processor in? How often do they all do that? We only know with Apple because there's like two different machines, and because everybody watches them so closely. Fools like me are sat with RSS feeds updating every 30 minutes, linked to Mac Daily News.
This is the key, Richard.
Yeah, to get rumours about things that are never, ever gonna happen.
Yeah. Oh.
And just stupid made-up things that make the news, and we get so excited.
But you look at them and you just go straight away, well, that's not real.
I know I do that, but then I get excited. This is what's so stupid about it. I'm not a dumb person. I can read things and decide and, think with education that's stupid and all that.
You're just like a greyhound after a rabbit. You see the rabbit and you start running. You want it.
Yeah. It's just like this latest one about the phone, where this news report came out that this guy who knows a guy who's a photographer, but he's a photographer who doesn't know anything about technology, did a photo shoot for Apple allegedly photoed what he just described as the best looking phone he's ever seen in his life. But it's probably a complete load of toss.
But what did you say in
there I
response
was
to
in
that?
the car going, I know it's probably not true, but it's coming. That means it's coming next month.
My next phone
and then I
will
can
be
go
an
and get
Apple
one.
phone.
What the hell is this about? How does it happen? What has it done to me?
I tell you what, you've got that nice silver, shiny, beautiful box there, and I'm going to agree with you. It's aesthetically a beautiful machine.
Oh, yeah.
When you turn it on, the screens are beautiful, and you've got that, and then you realise it's a beautiful thing. And beautiful things are very intoxicating, and you want more beautiful things, especially when the beautiful thing looks rather beautiful alongside the other beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And then they bring out another beautiful thing that is equally beautiful alongside both of those beautiful things. And suddenly you have to have every beautiful thing that has an Apple logo stamped on it.
And then they give you stickers so that you can put Apple logos on things that shouldn't have Apple logos on them.
Yeah, what have we got? We got a little girly pink paper box on the mantelpiece that's got an Apple sticker on it. I put it there. I am not infected by the Apple plug, but I put that sticker on that there box.
Frank has an Apple guitar.
No, he doesn't.
He does. He put his sticker on the guitar.
He has a Gibson guitar. It's got an Apple sticker on it.
What?
Why?
I don't know. I can't tell you. His...
People are getting Apple tattoos.
Now that's too far.
That's too far.
You see...
If you come back here with an Apple tattoo on your
No, it's not going to happen. Yeah.
There'll be trouble.
I expect to be kicked out for that, to be perfectly honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you've realised what's coming to you before, so you've got...
No, I wouldn't do it. I don't want that. Because the moment I get it done is the moment they bring out the iPoo and stock prices crash through the floor, and that's it.
That's it.
Although I think they could actually bring out the iPoo and it would sell in its millions, just a poo in a box with an Apple logo on.
Probably would.
People would buy it.
And you'd buy one.
And people would dismantle it and go, there's clues to the new Apple phone in the firmware of the iPoo.
But the interesting thing is that before you bought it, we'd drive 45 miles to the nearest Apple store for you to look at it in that glass box and fawn over it until you've got enough money to afford it.
It's not my fault that the only Apple store is 45 miles away.
It's the fawning. It's not the journey.
Okay, it's on the other side of the Pennines.
I have no money in my pocket. I want deeply what is in that store.
So I'm just going to go and stroke
I have no money.
one.
I'm going to go stroke it. I'm going to look at it, fawn, and then walk away and go and have a look in games, see what second-hand games they've got.
Yeah.
Because that's your other geek spot. on that trip.
That's half over because that was part of a quest to find an Xbox version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3.
And you've got that.
Which is a very old game and
Are
difficult
you
to
telling
find.
me now that...
Oh yeah, the quest is half over.
But
as soon as I get a copy of Fusion Frenzy, we can all relax.
are you telling me that when you've got Fusion Frenzy, the frequency of your visits into not one branch of
Two
game,
branches of game in the same
but two branches
shopping
of
mall,
game in
yes.
the same mall
Yes.
are going to reduce?
Yes, I promise.
You promise.
I
Did
promise.
you hear that, everyone? Everyone, this is being recorded on the 7th of August, 2006.
Don't be so...
which prom-
yeah, I promise. I promise. And I'll stop reading Mac Daily News. Yeah. You
Not
see,
gonna happen.
this all hit home for me, right? The effect of the Apple fanboy, we'll call it the Apple fanboy effect, happened to my friend Andy, our friend Andy,
I like that.
who came to me and said, Rich, I want to get a computer. What should I get? And I just smiled.
You did.
And said,
You love that
you get a
opening
Mac.
question, don't you?
You get a Mac. To the point where when I went to the Apple store last time to get my iPod sorted, which is another thing we'll talk about.
Yes.
I said to the guy behind the counter, I should get commission for all the Macs I sold. And he
This
looked
is
at me
absolutely true.
in the most deadpan way and said, have you any idea how many times I hear that every day?
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Well, then
As
there's
in-
more than you. I feel rest assured now that there is more than you. And I'm pretty sure that there's lots of people like you listening to this podcast right now, identifying themselves and
Shaking their
squirming.
heads in shame.
Squirming.
Shake your head
you
in
are.
shame.
Yeah. Go on, boys.
What
Shake
effect
'em.
has it had when a company can provide you with such a thing as an iPod that since January I have had 3?
You've had 3 of them. Not one. And
3.
not 3 because you're greedy.
No.
You haven't had 3
Because
all at the
3
same
of them have
time.
broken. That's why. They haven't been dropped down the toilet. They haven't been smashed or driven over the car. I upgraded the firmware and they broke. Now, granted, they just gave me a new one. We just go in, I say,
Yeah.
my iPod's broke. They go, here you go, here's a new one.
Absolutely.
Name me one other
Kudos
company
to
you
them
can do
for,
that with.
for their customer service because
Yeah.
they've handled you so well and they've just said, here's a new
And
one.
I'm potentially very difficult to handle in a you not giving me what I want sort of way.
Yes, you are.
Especially when you're somebody who I've given money to.
Yeah.
And,
You're the guy that I hand the phone to and say, Rich, deal with this
there are
person.
people at the power call centre who are still crying after that last one.
You're so harsh.
Yeah. So I don't know what it does. I don't think it's simply using them that does it. First of all, I don't think it actually pleases that many people. I think, as even Rym and Scott have said, there's massive problems there. I think,
With
and I
the
would agree.
iPod?
Not with the iPod, with the Macs now.
Right.
Sorry, I jumped back there and didn't tell anybody. Sorry. There's some of them. There's some massive issues with some of them. I mean, when we were using Andy's MacBook yesterday, when he put it away, did you feel how hot the kitchen worktop was?
No, I didn't.
You could have just fried an egg on the worktop
Really?
right there.
Was it
like
that hot?
something out of Ghostbusters. You could have just done that.
I don't know how long you've been using it for, but it can't have been
However
that long.
that was ridiculous. If that had been on your lap, you'd have been rubbing some aloe vera on there.
Yeah.
And believe you me, that can lead to some nasty injuries. If I had to pick an area of my body to burn, my lap wouldn't be it.
Well, your testicles are not such a great area to be heating up anyway.
That's the
'cause that's
age-old thing about laptops, about they make you sterile and stuff like that. I don't believe they do, but the MacBook will fry your nuts.
Exactly.
Right there and then.
I mean, the one thing about that area of the body is it's outside for a reason, to
Yeah.
cool it down.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do is heat it up.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, if Steve Jobs came to the door now and said, I'll give you this MacBook, but I'm going to have to take Allison away.
You'd swap me, wouldn't you?
Come on, glove, get your
I
coat.
can't believe that, but you would, wouldn't you? You'd
I
just
wouldn't really.
absolutely straight swap me for a MacBook Pro.
Yeah, MacBook Pro. I mean, if it was just a MacBook, I'd want a big hard
See
drive
what I
and
have
lots
to
of
put up
memory.
with. This is what
I
I
wouldn't
have to
really
put up with.
swap you. That's unfair. I'm only joking.
You
Geeks
see,
make the best boyfriends.
geeks make the best boyfriends. Yeah, they do.
They do. How good am I?
You're a fantastic boyfriend.
Let's be honest.
You are. You're great. Look at you doing a little victory dance.
Aren't
and
I a
saying,
great
"I'm
boyfriend
a great
dance?"
boyfriend.
Yeah.
You are.
Because I'm a geek.
Because you're a geek.
It's part of the culture.
It is. And we always know about things that are arriving and things that we want. and you know about new software releases, and you know this, that, and the other, and you always make sure that I'm up to date and stuff like that.
Most of the time, you just sat there rolling your eyes, really.
Yes, dear. With that kind of expression,
it's like,
yes,
dear. I know you do it, but I'm okay with it because you sit there and let me do it anyway.
I let you do it, and about 30% of it, I think, goes in.
Oh yeah,
30% of it's going to stick with me.
You do very well.
Thank you.
Very well indeed.
I do very well because I'm a 6.
Yeah.
I'd do terrible if I was a 5. But at 6, about 30% of it sticks in my head, and I know what you're talking about, and I kind of get what you're saying. But the moment that a tech word speak comes up that I don't understand, rather than asking most of the time, I just skip it.
You just skip.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's that old I zone you out kind of thing again, but it's not again.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's true. If you're talking about technical bits and pieces to do with motherboards, I just kind of like.
Wenda, I don't talk about motherboards.
I'm just trying to give an example of something, and I can't give an example.
Just boring thing.
Because I zone it out.
Usually Mac Daily News.
Mac Daily News. I mean. Its name says everything. It's Mac Daily News. So it's daily news to you. You're always there.
It's usually hit in the morning before like BBC National News.
And you always tell me when I get home from work. You tell me what's going on.
Recite it to you
in tech.
Why? I'm not. It's not as if I'm not busy. It's not as if I've got nothing better to do.
You
with my
love
life.
This though. This fuels your entire enthusiasm for what you do.
What?
And you love listening to, and watching, and reading about geeks, geekology, technology, being a nerd.
Geekology, the study of geeks.
Yeah. I mean, the things that you do, like when an Apple rumour comes out, or there's sly talk of secret invitations being sent out to choice individuals. There's going to be a special event. Oh my God, Steve Jobs is going to do a keynote. And you count down the days. And it's not just you.
I have a widget that counts down to the Worldwide Developers Conference.
A widget?
Yeah, that counts down the days.
So it's not just you. You all, like, you don't get together because I don't think you ever leave home. I think you just stay inside all the time. No, that's what the
internet's for.
Exactly.
Look what we're doing. We're geeking across the Atlantic as we speak.
And we haven't gone anywhere. We're still in the living room.
Yeah.
So you do. You all hook up over the internet and talk about what's coming and what could possibly be Steve saying this time.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I can predict a couple of things. I can predict what he's going to wear.
It's becoming a game now. And it's like this big thing. I should do a website, right? Here it is. We wait every time there's a big Apple event coming out. People can post their like top 3 what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
And then the winner gets a prize. That's a crap idea.
It's a crap idea because you'd have to fund a prize. That's a rubbish idea.
Well, we'd get lots of hits and we'd make, I don't know. Forget it. Move on.
We could make a prize. I suppose it'd be rubbish, but anyway.
Yeah.
But that's what
Win
you do.
my broken iPod.
That's what you do, though. I can remember us racing back from your parents' house one Sunday afternoon to see the keynote live because you didn't want to wait for it. And then we got back. And because every geek in the world was sat streaming the same piece of video, we got about 3 seconds at a time before it cut again.
But I sat there for 4 hours watching those 3 seconds of a time.
It was
disgusting.
Hideous. By the time we'd seen it, it had been reported. We could have just read it.
Yeah. Well, it's reported quicker than you get the video now. You can read a live blog faster than they put the video up. The thing that frustrates me is that when a new thing comes out, you want to hear it on the video. You want to see Steve go, oh, and there is one more thing. But by the time the video's out, you've got to go to the website to get it. And they've put the new thing on the front page of the website.
Yeah.
So you've got to sort of not look at the screen and try and hit the button to go to the video page so that you don't get it ruined.
It's an entire pantomime that you go through every single time.
Imagine if they were speaks. Like, if you were going to a website to watch a TV episode and on the front page of the website was the last scene of the film in script form.
He gets killed.
Yeah. Watch the first episode of 24. In the last episode, Jack died. It would be pointless. It's like, I'm not going to bother. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
But we still watch, and I've watched many of them several times.
I know.
Even old ones.
I know.
And I don't know why.
You like his style as well. As much as you enjoy hearing him talk about his new product.
Oh, I think...
You enjoy his style. You like his presentation.
Love him or hate him, the man is a fantastic presenter. He does well on stage.
He's good on the clicky thing.
Yeah.
He's master of the clicky thing.
More rumours surrounding the clicky thing. Apparently it's not an actual clicky thing. Apparently it goes to a room behind the stage that switches a light on that says, you switch that thing over now or Steve will nail you to the wall.
That's just upsetting because I really wanted the clicky thing to be a real thing.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know why.
I'm
never going to need a clicky thing.
I think, you see, some people say there was one he did where it broke.
Yeah.
And he had to make a joke about how Apple doesn't make the clicker thing. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So let's go back to something.
We've talked about this for half an hour now. And we haven't really discovered anything new other than I hate myself.
I tell you one thing that did elevate you, though. You didn't go whole hog with the old Apple thing. You didn't get that crappy phone. That
the
rocker.
iTunes phone.
That rocker.
No, I didn't get that.
You didn't get that, did you?
No.
So you're not completely suckered.
Well, I'm sat here surrounded by a Power Mac and an iSight and an iPod and a... Actually, that's it.
Yeah.
I need to get
But you're
out there and
looking
buy some
at the
stuff.
computer that's behind me, wishing that it was an iMac.
Oh, you'd wish it was an iMac.
No, you wish it was an iMac.
Yeah, I do.
You want me to get an iMac more than I want to get an iMac.
It's easier if everybody's using the same
Yes,
technology.
of course it is.
as
I
me.
completely agree with you, but I am pointing out a fact here. You want it for me more than I want
You
it
see,
for me.
this is something people don't understand, especially in America, is that iChat is an incredible instant messenger program. I'm sure that everybody has a different opinion to me, and everyone in the world who hears this has just gone, no, iChat's appalling. Oh, yeah, bloody iChat, get in there. But
you like it, don't
it's
you?
my favourite one. But the trouble is, I can only speak to Tristan or my dad. Right?
But if I got it, we could.
And if
we're in the same room
Well,
as
not
each
just
other.
for you, but when I'm away and stuff, when
So
I
I
get
can
my
speak to
MacBook.
Tristan.
So you can speak to Tristan and my dad. And so the plan is, if I get everyone that I know onto a Mac, then we can all use iChat, and I don't have to have stupid MSN Messenger.
That's so much cheaper than MSN Messenger.
We are like the only country in the world where MSN Messenger is a big thing. No one uses it in America.
Really?
Yeah, they're all on AIM, on AOL and stuff, which is why iChat works in America, because everyone's on AOL.
Okay.
But here, MSN, and it sucks ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't use it on MSN, can you?
I can use MSN, but it's like the most
Can you use the
basic
camera
version.
on MSN?
No, you can't use the
you
camera.
Can't.
So we have to do Skype for video-to-video thing.
Yeah.
And we've not even seen that working yet, actually.
No.
No. Shall we wrap up?
Yeah.
Let's wrap up.
But
'Cause
just
as
in
I say,
closing, I mean, we were going to talk a little bit about, the geeks do make good boyfriends. And despite all your Apple love and, Apple frenzy, you are a very good boyfriend for all the reasons that are on Craigslist.
Should we give a... Basically, there's a list on Craigslist, isn't there, of why geeks make good... why geeks and nerds are worth it. That's a very long URL to give out.
It is.
But if you do I'm sure if you Google why geeks and nerds are worth it, then you'll probably get it.
There's plenty of reasons here. I mean, some of them are really you all over. They really are you all over.
Just give me a couple.
More romantic than you give them credit for.
Really, am I?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Yeah. It says here, okay, true, their idea of romance might be to make up a spiffy web page with all the reasons why they love you. You haven't done that, but
I'm not going to do that.
But you've built pages and I'm on them.
Oh, that's a different thing.
But is it? It's not very far away.
Well, you're in the podcast.
What do you... Right, my name's Wally, isn't it? And everything's Wally.
That's just a joke. So
yeah, but it's not. It's your romantic stuff. Yeah, you see? Look, you're blushing. See, geeks blush. Okay, you've got brains. You've got brains. I love the fact that we can have intelligent conversations and I don't at any point despair that you're being stupid.
No. Yeah.
I really enjoy
I
really enjoy that. I couldn't cope with you.
Yeah.
If you weren't clever. And it takes cleverness to be a geek.
It certainly does. God, we're good, We should be in charge of everything.
How
really, just me,
much
actually.
help am I going to get was redecorating and stuff like that, that kind of stuff.
Oh, I don't know there.
You see,
I'd like to say lots, but I think...
In truth,
we know that I'm probably more of a hindrance.
That's true. And I'm going to be saying, Rich, go play with your Mac.
Yeah.
While I plaster.
Go and download podcasts.
Yeah. While I paint these floorboards.
I can do stuff like that.
Yeah, but you do choose not to, because that's your domain.
Well...
Not the domain with a paintbrush or a tool in your hand.
I suppose.
And you're not a gardener.
No. Oh, that's so dull. And it takes so long.
And it's outside, the sun's there and everything. It's,
my see-through complexion hates the sun.
See, you're a nerd. You have nerd skin. You can't be outside for too long. You just come out in horrible blisters.
Like Angel the Vampire.
Yeah. Only more nerdy.
Yeah. If he wore glasses. I don't wear glasses. Well, I should.
You should.
I don't wear them as often as I should. Let's end this.
Let's
do the wrap-up. So...
Okay.
We've been Richard and Allison from Movies You Should See.
Yes.
Where we discuss a movie you should see. That was from our earlier really crap promo that we did, where it was just me going, we are Movies You Should See. You should listen to us. We're good.
We've moved on somewhat.
We have
from
moved on, but only just. You can check us out at simplysyndicated.com/movies you should see. Rym and Scott are on there a couple of times. City of God, Attack the Gas Station.
Yeah.
They're both still up there.
Yes, they're still available for download.
So check that out.
Yeah.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So thanks, Rym and Scott, for letting us do this. This
I've
has
really
been
enjoyed
incredible.
This.
You know,
You've been dying for this, haven't you, Rich?
This, talk about interactive media.
This is wicked.
What more do you want? Jeremy Clarkson won't let me go and do a Top Gear.
No, he won't.
He won't do that.
No.
There's no point in me pointing at the telly, because no one knows.
No one can see that you're doing that.
So, okay.
And I'm not going to get to present a Big Brother eviction night and get to be mean to someone when they come out either.
Davina's got the contract on that.
But here we are on Geeknights.
I think it's amazing.
I think it's fantastic. I've had a wicked night. I hope you've enjoyed us.
Bye.
Goodbye.
And that was Geeknights with Rym and Scott. Special thanks to DJ Pretzel for our opening theme.
Be sure to visit our website at www.frontrowcrew.com. If you like our podcasts, you'll love our forums. Make sure you visit them. You can send your email feedback to geeknights@gmail.com. And if you want, you can leave us a voicemail at 206-333-1537.
Geeknights airs every weeknight, Monday through Thursday.
Geeknights is recorded with absolutely no studio and no audience. But unlike those other talk shows, it's actually recorded at night.
It's Monday, August 7th, and this is Geeknights. Tonight is a very special Geeknights, as we're not here, and we're trying something very new. If this goes well, this may happen more times in the future. We have some guest hosts for the show.
Yes, we were just at Otakon. It ended yesterday, which means we are not going to be able to make a podcast today. So
we are in fact currently sleeping on the beach somewhere in Wildwood, New Jersey.
Yeah, if you're in Wildwood, New Jersey, feel free to come find us. We'll be here for a few more days. But regardless, previously we offered anyone who had the ability to podcast the opportunity to create their very own Geeknights episode. And we had some takers. Our friends over at Simply Syndicated, who made of the Movies You Should See podcast,
which we have appeared on twice.
Yes, they like our show so much that they decided to make their own episode of it, and this is what you will be hearing very shortly.
So first off, if you are a new listener to Geeknights, you may or may not have found us through Otakon and all of the shows and events we did there. Be sure to check out the website, www.frontrowcrew.com. And bear in mind that all this week are going to be Geeknight specials. If you want to listen to a more standard, normal episode, look for any episode that doesn't have the word special in the title. There are about 160 of them out there, either in iTunes or on the feed or on the website itself. Also, if you're looking for our Otakon coverage, it will be beginning next Monday and will go for approximately 2 weeks, as we are currently out of town and we don't have the ability to upload, let alone edit anything together. Thus, without further ado,
it's Monday, 7th of August, and this is Geeknights. Tonight we'll be discussing stupid dumb Apple fanboys and why geeks make the best boyfriends.
Let's do this.
Hello everybody, welcome to Geeknights.
Hello.
My name is Richard.
And I'm Allison.
Let's explain.
Okay, let's do that.
So at the beginning you had just heard Rym and Scott explaining that this isn't a normal episode of Geeknights at all.
No.
We are the guest podcasters.
Yeah.
And we are part of, we're not all of, we're part of Movies You Should See. Rym and Scott have actually been on our show a couple of times anyway, so the chances are you might have heard them.
Yeah.
Heard us. Sorry.
Heard us, yeah.
Heard us, indeed. So
hopefully you did, because they did some really good spots for us.
I was pleased with them.
Yeah.
Actually, last week's show.
Last week's show,
City of God. Check it out.
It's a good show.
We'll plug later.
Okay.
We'll plug later.
But that's us anyway. Richard and Allison from Movies You Should See.
We should say hello to Craig, Mike and Tristan, who are also part of it.
Yeah, they are. They should have been here tonight, but we had a little mishap yesterday. The clutch burnt out in the car.
Well, basically, every one of us who owns a car has had it die in the last 2 weeks.
That's right, yeah.
So nobody's going anywhere, and we didn't want to do this over Skype.
No.
No, that would have been crap. So basically, we're just going to do a normal episode of Geeknights.
Yeah.
Excellent. So shall we kick off?
We should.
So we start with the news.
Okay. What's been happening?
Well, this week, Top of the Pops,
Yes.
a British institution,
Absolutely.
played its last episode. After 42 years. That's the significant thing, I suppose. If you don't know what Top of the Pops is, it's basically a weekly music show that's been on TV for the last 42 years.
Yeah.
Where bands go on and they do the top 10 countdown and that sort of thing.
It's basically the TV equivalent of the chart show. They tell us what's number one on a Sunday, and what used to happen is Top of the Pops was on a Thursday, and it got you geared up and buying records ready for the chart to be announced on Sunday. So it showed you everybody who's in the chart, showed you how many places had gone up and gone down, and it really was something that was really part of my childhood and my teenage years.
I never watched it,
Really?
Never once have I sat through an episode of Top of the Pops.
It was my entire week, the focus of my week when I was a kid, like 10, 12 years old. I loved it. I was a chance to have a look at them.
Well, that's what it's there for.
Because the entire studio
That's what it's there for. You pay a fortune to get your song on Top of the Pops so that it gets promoted.
Ooh.
Oh, come on.
Is it fair to say that?
Of course it's perfectly fair to say that.
Okay, well, yeah.
It's massively fair to say that because when Will Young won Pop Idol,
Oh, him.
there was massive controversy over the fact that they were trying to pay for him to have two songs on the same episode, which no one's ever done.
Oh, was that a double A side jobby?
That was, yes.
Right, okay. He wants to
And-
get married, actually.
Let him.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Wants to do an Elton.
We should explain for anyone that doesn't know Will Young's gay, so getting married is
He's
an
the gay
unusual
pop
thing.
idol.
But he's allowed to do that here
He
now,
is,
which
yeah.
is smashing. Where were we? So
Top of
so
the
everyone
Pops.
who's on it is doing a little dance for us. Right, from Christina Aguilera to the Gallagher brothers in Oasis, they're just doing a little dance for us, which is weird. I find that weird because, again, we all know that, but we pretend that they're playing live,
Yeah, I guess.
which
But-
is just crazy.
And that always kind of made me want to buy songs a little bit more when I'd seen them or when I'd seen the videos.
Well, that's the
Especially
point of
when
videos.
videos first came out, they were amazing. And you got to see things like, Dire Straits, the MTV one,
The Money for Nothing,
Nothing.
which
Great
was
video.
just the most amazing thing in the world when it came out.
It was.
Nothing like that had been seen. So
So we started replacing pop stars with videos, and you wouldn't get as many live performances. Well, not live
No,
with
'cause
the
they mix it with
quotation
the
mark.
videos.
You get a video. So
Yeah.
you kind of felt a little while after you were being a little bit cheated. You actually wanted to see the band there.
videos are the biggest cheat in the music industry.
Yeah.
But on nothing, because they're advertising to get you to buy the single. And now we're paying for videos.
Yeah.
We're paying to buy advertising
It's crazy,
to make us
isn't it?
buy something else.
It's crazy. I'd much
Well,
rather see
you
a
know.
performer actually mime in front of me than see the same video.
Yeah,
played and
get
played
them
and
out
played
to
and
do their
played,
own
which is
little
what we've
dance.
got now.
Dance for me. Come on.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
I think, in America, that show, and it would be the one thing that was guaranteed that I could watch uninterrupted in the house. That was my program. And I think pretty much every teenage girl at the time did, until something happened in the UK and music started getting really, really crap. And
Oh, you mean the late 80s?
well, yeah.
And actually,
Mainstream
more
chart
so
music.
the very late 90s, up until now.
Yeah, we had the Britpop thing, which made everything exciting again. And the MTV thing, I guess, took quite a bit away from shows like Top of the Pops. Which,
Well, that's what they're saying killed Top of the Pops, and I think that's perfectly fair for them to say.
I think it's fair.
You know, who cares about a once weekly music show when we've got 24-hour music
Yeah,
channels?
you can get to see your favourite videos 25 times a day if your channel serve
Exactly.
the right channels. And so that kind of led to the demise. But my favourite days of Top of the Pops were back when I was a child, because you used to have these horrific dancers on there. Were they Pan's People?
Pan's People. Let's explain about Pan's People. This is a very special part of our history, part of our social history.
Established in British culture.
And it's embarrassing.
It really is. But I'm sure they have kind of equivalent naffness in other countries around the world. I think we can get away with it.
There was never naffness
come
to
on.
this degree.
Right.
Go on.
Pan's People were a group of young women who were probably aged about 18 to 30.
Yeah.
And they were quite posh. Oh, it
Yeah.
felt like it.
They were a bit poncy.
Yeah, they were dancers, and back in the days before video promos were available for pop songs in the charts, these women used to come on and do very literal dances that were about the song. So you got some amazing kind of dancers. I can't remember what the song was, but it had dogs in it. For some reason, it had puppies in it or something like that. And sure enough, they had puppies on the stage in their dance. It was just the most ridiculous thing ever. Kept trying to get these shiatsus to stay still while they're doing massive leg kicks and stuff. It was horrific. But I think that everybody loved them because they were a bit sexy, really. And it was the most leg and body that had ever been
It
shown
was
on
certainly
British
the
TV.
raunchiest thing on TV at the time by a long way.
Some
really
horrendous
was.
costumes, though.
Oh, it was horrific. You
We're
can
talking-
probably Google Pan's People and see all of this,
Yeah.
I think.
Baby doll 90s and that kind of thing. Very funny.
You have to see it.
And
to
how they do all
understand.
the facial expressions to go
Yeah.
along with the song. It's just cheese on a stick. It really is.
Expertly done.
But that's kind of what made Top of the Pops so special. It was a very British thing with this very British dance troupe, and it was just the cream of cheese.
It really was. You see, the problem... Here's an issue I had with it, right? The bands that play on Top of the Pops, when
Yeah.
they do so-called live performances, I'm doing the thingies with my fingers.
The speech
The
mark.
speech marks with my fingers. The live performances, right? They're not doing live performances.
No, they're not.
At best, they recorded that performance earlier on in the day. But probably, and I've seen this a lot, they sing the album version. They blatantly just brought a CD with them. Or
Yeah.
something like that, right? So they're miming, and we know they're miming.
It's happened
Right.
quite spectacularly on there as well, where the DAT machine's broken.
yeah, when things have just gone
and
wrong.
people have just sat there with blank expressions on their faces. The song plays in the background, and like, what's going on? All About Eve. That's who it happened to.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That one's played on TV quite a lot,
It
isn't
is,
it?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a nice little example of the naffness of the programme.
But they're miming. We know
Yeah.
they're miming. They know that we know they're miming, right? So essentially what it becomes is they're just doing a dance to their song.
It's kind of obscene.
know-
It's
we-
like
yeah.
watching someone play air guitar.
We know
doesn't
nobody,
think they're
we
being
know
watched.
there's no music being performed in front of us. Nothing at all. We know essentially what they're doing is dancing for us. They're just dancing in a way that, look, that they're playing at being a band.
But it's getting 15 years